I run a small hardware and convenience shop at the edge of a quiet town, the kind of place where regulars come in and make small talk. And you know everyone's name by their dog, if not by their face. Except one guy. He comes in every Friday, always around the same time, just after sunset, when the store's nearly empty and the parking lot starts swallowing the shadows. He doesn't talk, doesn't nod, just moves slowly down the aisles, always heading for the same things. One or two bundles of heavy-duty trash bags, a pack of fire starters, and a coil of nylon rope. Sometimes duct tape, sometimes bleach. It's always cash, always exact, never a word spoken. At first, I chalked it up to a weird routine. Maybe he ran a campsite or cleaned up rental properties. I've seen stranger. But after the fifth week, I started watching him closely. His hands always gloved, even in summer. His hoodie oversized and stained near the cuffs. And once, when I stepped out from the counter to stock shelves, he froze, like he hadn't expected to see me that close. He just stood there, eyes locked on mine, dead quiet. I smiled. He didn't. That was the first time I got the chill. Week after week, same purchases, no variation. Sometimes the bags were scented, sometimes not, but always the same items and always just enough to feel wrong. So I checked the receipts. He had been coming here for over 2 months. I pulled the security footage, and in every shot, his face was angled down, covered, hood up, hat low, like he knew where the cameras were. Then, last week, after another one of his visits, I made the mistake of checking the local news. There had been missing person reports, several, from towns not far off the highway. Young adults, mostly hikers, campers, and solo travelers. One thing stuck with me. No bodies found, just remnants, ash, rope fibers, plastic fragments. My hands were sweating when I read it. Because those brands, those materials, we were one of the only shops that stocked them. I could go to the police. I wanted to, but what would I say? A guy buys trash bags and rope every week? Not exactly damning evidence. So I waited. I bought a little tracker off the internet, one of those tiny things you can stick to a pet's collar. Last Friday, I palmed it in my hand and followed him to his car after he left. He drove a nondescript van, dark gray with no markings and no plates on the front. I slipped the tracker under his rear bumper. That night, I couldn't sleep. The dot on my phone stopped moving an hour out of town, near a stretch of woods no one goes near anymore. I kept checking it all night. He stayed there, until just before dawn. Then he started moving again, back toward town, back toward me. The tracker blinked out about 3 blocks from my shop. That was 2 days ago. Last night I found a single trash bag left at the back of my store. Empty, but open. Like a message. Like a warning. Or maybe an invitation. It's Friday again. The sun's going down. And I think I already hear his van outside. I've been solo exploring the outback for a week now. It was meant to be one of those reset trips. To disconnect and reconnect. You know the drill. I've seen landscapes that make you forget the rest of the world exists. Red dirt stretching forever. Skies so wide it feels like you'll fall into them. But ever since the second night, I haven't been alone. It started with footsteps. Not animal footsteps. Something heavy. Deliberate. I heard them circling my camper just after midnight. The crunch of dirt, then dragging. Like it was dragging a foot behind it. Then silence. I chalked it up to nerves. But the next night, same thing. Only this time I heard breathing. Slow and heavy. Not panting. Not sniffing. Just breathing. Every night since then, like clockwork, I park somewhere new. I make sure I'm miles from the last camp. That doesn't matter. It finds me. It never knocks, never speaks. But last night, something tried the handle. I watched it jiggle, back and forth. Click, click, click. I sat frozen with my knife in one hand and my phone in the other, even though I've had no service for days. Eventually it stopped, but it didn't leave. I could hear it breathing just on the other side of the wall. I don't sleep anymore. This is my last night out here. The sun's setting now, and I know it's coming back. It always comes back. I don't know what it wants. I don't even know what it is. But it's not just a dingo or some drunk camper. It follows. It finds. It waits. If you're hearing this, check the outside of the camper. See if there's still one long drag mark in the dirt. Because I swear, whatever it is, it only pretends to leave. They think I finished my degree. They still bring it up. So proud of our little graduate. And I smile and nod and let them go on about how hard I worked. They don't know I dropped out halfway through second year. COVID made the lies easy. No ceremony? No problem. A fake certificate was just a few clicks and a PDF template away. They think I have a job now, some vague tech role I can never explain clearly, but they never push too hard. Why would they? I'm their successful child, their little pride and joy. They don't know I've been living in their shed. You know the one, the old tool shed tucked behind the lemon tree. No one's used it in years. It has a little window and an outlet. I fixed it up just enough to be livable. I sneak in when they're asleep, slip out when they're gone, eat what they leave in the fridge, use their Wi-Fi, shower when they're out shopping. It worked for a while, but lately they've been asking more questions. How's work? Why don't we ever see you on video calls? Why do you still have mail sent here? They've started noticing little things. The missing food, the unlocked side door, the footprints outside. I hear them whispering at night. I think my dad found one of my notebooks, the one I used to keep track of my cover stories. I had to move it, burn it, just in case. Yesterday, I heard my mom on the phone. She said she was worried about me, that something doesn't feel right, that maybe they should drive up to my place, the one that doesn't exist, and surprise me. I think I'm running out of time. I didn't mean for it to go on this long. I just wanted to make them proud. But now I've built this whole world of lies, and they're getting too close to pulling it apart. I think it's time to take them out of the equation. It'll be easy. They trust me. Still think I'm the golden child. They won't expect a thing. I don't know how to say this without sounding insane, but I woke up 3 days ago, and the world was gone. Not destroyed, not burning, just empty. No screams, no traffic, no voices, not even birds. At first, I thought I'd overslept. The light was strange, that heavy gray blue that settles in right before a storm. But there was no storm. In fact, there was no wind. Just silence. Not quiet. Silence. No air conditioners humming, no leaves rustling, no dogs barking. Like the whole world took a breath and held it. I checked my phone. No signal, no Wi-Fi. Weird, but not impossible. I walked outside. The streets were still cars in driveways, trash cans by the curb, a newspaper fluttering on someone's porch. But no people. Not in the windows, not on the sidewalk, not in their yards. Just empty. I knocked on my neighbor's door and nothing. Tried the old couple 2 houses down. Nothing. Eventually, I just started calling out names, then shouting, then screaming. I checked downtown. Abandoned. The gas station pumps were frozen. A bus still idled at a green light, engine dead but lights blinking. There was half a coffee cup spilled on the driver's seat. Still warm. That's the worst part. Everything looked like it had just happened. Doors wide open. Television shows are playing. Half-finished meals left behind. A baby stroller in the park with no baby inside. But no signs of panic. No blood. No running. Just absence. Just nothing. Day 4, I drove further. Highways were empty. I checked 4 towns. No people, no animals, not even insects. How can this be? I found a chicken coop. Empty. Eggs in the hay. Uncollected. That night, I broke into a grocery store. No alarms went off. I ate peanut butter from the jar and sat in the freezer aisle for hours just listening. Still no sound. No flies. No hum of refrigerators. Just me and the smell of food starting to rot. Day 5, the power began to flicker. I guess no one's running the plants. No one to monitor the grid. The lights dim, then buzz back. But it's happening more often. And the water pressure is weak. The sinks hiss like angry snakes. I don't know how much longer this will last. The silence is getting thicker, heavier. I swear I can hear my own blood. I can hear my nails grow. When my stomach churns, it sounds like an earthquake. There's nothing to muffle the noise of your own body when the world isn't making any of its own. I've started talking to myself. That doesn't worry me. What worries me is when I hear someone reply. From another room. Or behind a wall. I went back to my old school today. Just to see if anyone was hiding. There was a note on a chalkboard in one of the classrooms. It just said, "Did you ever stop to think maybe you were the one left behind?" I don't know who wrote it, or if I did it myself and forgot. It's getting harder to tell when I'm awake. I have dreams of people calling my name. But when I follow the voice, it always leads me back to the same place. My bedroom. Empty. Just me. Every single time. If anyone is out there, and I don't think there is, I hope you see this. I hope this means something. Because I'm not sure how much longer I'll be me if the lights go out for good. And if I'm not me anymore, who will even notice? It started with her friend Kayla getting those messages. At first, she laughed them off. "Hey, beautiful," followed by a bunch of emojis, or "I saw you today," even when she hadn't gone anywhere. Classic creeper stuff. Then came the photos. Ones she didn't remember taking. Ones of her sleeping. By the time she found a Polaroid of herself tucked under her windshield wiper, the smile was gone. She told everyone she had a stalker, even went to the police, but nothing could be done without a name. And the guy was careful. No fingerprints, no camera footage, no face. That's when Kayla called her best friend Jess. Jess was the fixer. She is practical, tough, and protective. The kind of friend who always walked you to your car, even when you said you didn't need it. "Move in," Jess said. "You'll be safe here." Kayla packed her bags that night. She brought them to Jess's house, an old 2-bedroom place near the edge of town. Jess had lived there since college. Cozy, familiar, safe. That first night, Kayla cried. Jess made tea and listened quietly. "I just want it to stop," Kayla said, voice cracking. "I don't want to be afraid to sleep." Jess nodded and said, "You're safe now. He can't get to you here." But Jess was wrong. I was already there. Kayla didn't know how many nights she whispered her fears into the walls, but I heard them all. She didn't know that the creak outside the door wasn't the house settling. It was me. I watched her try to sleep with the lights on. I listened to her open every closet. She even checked under the bed. but never inside the vent. That was mine. I'd been living in the crawl space for months, ever since Jess moved in alone, before Kayla came. I picked Jess for her routine, her predictability. But then Kayla came. And Kayla, oh, Kayla was interesting. So afraid. So soft. So easy to track. I knew everything. Her shampoo scent, the way she twitched in her sleep, the numbers she typed on her phone when she thought no one could see. Jess had a lock on her bedroom door. Kayla didn't. At night, I'd slip out. Sometimes I'd stand in the hallway just to hear her breathing speed up. The fear radiating off her was intoxicating. One night, she found a note tucked into her coat pocket. "Still watching?" she screamed. Jess checked every door, every window. They were all locked. The next day, Jess installed new locks, got cameras. But the cameras only covered the outside, never inside. They never thought to check the attic. They never thought to look behind the walls. Eventually, Kayla wanted to move out. She was calmer now. She said being with Jess helped. "I think the worst is over," she said, smiling. It broke my heart. So I left her a gift. Something personal. A lock of hair. I watched from the vent as she picked it up and her smile fell. She broke down sobbing. Jess wrapped her in a hug, looking over her shoulder, eyes darting around like she could sense something. She was right to. That night, they both locked their doors. But Kayla forgot to close her window. I never heard her. I never touched her. But I could have. And sometimes, the knowing is worse. She's gone now, moved out, changed her number, probably trying to forget. But me? I'm still here, waiting, because Jess still lives alone, and she never checks the vent.